Hello and good morning, or for some people, good evening today. Thanks for joining us for some Skips action. This is Haddock, and I'll be doing the commentary today. We have two great players. Smurfy on the left here. He comes from Canada, and he has a 39.23 as his personal best in 150 cc's all cups skips. And very good, very top player as far as time trials goes as well. And then we have Kazuya on the right. He's actually in Japan, so it's actually 11 o'clock at night. Thank you for staying up and playing. And his PB is 40.23. So as far as the seeds go, it was Smurfy with the 5th seed and Kazuya with the 12th seed. So this is just round 1. This is just the beginning. We have about 3 more rounds to go before the quarterfinals. So we'll take the top 8 from the results of this and then move them on into a bracket. And yeah, so this is going to be a little different. If you've caught some of our thanks, Lewis, with the catch on that. I didn't swap the tab. So actually, Smurfy is 8th with a 28.45. Excuse me. And Kazuya has a 30.39. Thanks for that catch. And yeah, so if like I was about to say, if you have caught some of our tournaments in the past, this is now. Kazuya has a 29. Very nice, very nice. Beats me, in fact. Nice work, Kazuya. So if you caught some of our tournaments in the past, those were all no skips, so now we will be doing the skips version of these. And without further ado, I'm going to count down the players, and then we're going to get started. Those blues. That is awesome. I assume he's going to have to swap out the old Game Shark on that one. Okay. All right, so I have sent them on their way. Just gonna wait for the sync, and then we will get started. So it actually begins very interestingly. Depending on what strategy they go for, they could be going for the red shell skip at the beginning, or just driving normal and grabbing a blue shell. Either way, they're likely to just turn around right at the beginning and touch a specific polygon, because the way that the checkpoints work, it gets really messed up if you touch specific polygons. That way, if they hit themselves out of bounds, the game thinks they've gone an entire lap, and that's essentially what you typically see here in the first round. All right, here we go. Luigi Circuit. So both players are playing on the Japanese, what I assume is the Japanese 1.1 version that allows them to do this first trick. So yeah, you will see Kazuya turn around right away, bumps the tree, which will spin you out a lot of the times. It's unfortunate, but really not a big time loss as far as if he gets red shells right here. Because what Smurfy's doing, yes, and he pulls it first try. Nice. So what we're going to see is Smurfy's going to go around and wait for the blue shell on lap 2, but Kazuya is actually going to do this lap 1, so he's going to launch it, and the red shell, it goes forward, and then it starts to turn around, and then you use that, you kind of know where it's going to go, like it's pathing, and you just hit yourself with it, and the red shell, you actually keep your forward momentum when you get hit by it, and you just launch yourself up out of bounds, and you go in the back. It looks like Smurfy's going to wait for the balloon. Actually, probably a smart choice at this point. So after you do 2 of the red shells, unless you do the faster strat, which is just like no setup on the first one, the CPUs will actually start to pass you, so you have to wait for them to go forward. And yeah, Kazuya rolling through with the 101 on the first map. Very nice, very nicely done. Smurfy did wait for the blue shell. Like I said, he did have to wait an extra cycle for that balloon to come down, and give him the blue shell. But yeah, he hits it. He's gonna go out of bounds, just like with the reds that Kazuya just did, and he's gonna be at the end now. So he's not too far behind, bearing in mind that. So see, he rolled through about 24 seconds behind, at which you'd think, wow, speed runs like that's so much time, but really it really just comes down to the last two cups, just like how No Skips does too. Moo Farm, another track that does not have any skips at all. So you're just driving normally, avoiding the moles, trying to not get caught on the uneven terrain, and sometimes you can be turning and you can overturn, underturn, and it'll eat your mini turbo inputs, which are the drift boosts that they're doing continuously, because the ideal inputs really only matter if you're on a flat surface. When you're on an uneven terrain, you can kind of like hop off the ground a little bit, and it will not allow you to get the inputs. So nothing too much to see here. Ideally they get a boo or a mushroom. The boo will allow them to go over the moles without having any kind of thought about it. It doesn't save too much time. A mushroom is a little bit more ideal, but it does cause a little bit more risk. Because you're more likely to go over those moles, especially the last set of moles where the mushroom is most effective. One of two places. So still not. We could see likely even like a minute difference, and it still will really come down to the last cup. So Kazuya's on to Koopa Droopa Beach, aka Noko Noko Beach. There is no unintended skip on this one. It does feature a ramp that goes into a cave, but we call that designer intended. So it doesn't count. So in a no skips category, you would be able to also do it. Ooh, Kazuya hitting the left side. He's going to go for the backup. Ooh, getting no framed. No framed is when you hit him, see him hit the wall, and just tumble right away. So that means that, given the angle and the speed, there was no way for him to get the upward momentum, and it just crashes him. Kazuya also went for the 8th place item glitch, which is using the final set of items and then going to the right of the finish line. The way that the weird polygon mapping. Whoa, what was Luigi doing on the right? The weird polygon mapping on the right. If you are right before the finish line, even though you're at the end of the lap, it counts you as an 8th place, and you can pull an 8th place item using that item block right before the end. Kazuya getting it and getting the star, which is the most ideal situation. You save about like at least 4 seconds using that. Smurfy got it that time, but he pulled triple reds. Very unfortunate. But on the brighter side for Smurfy, he did make it in the cave. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that before he makes it a third one. Okay, he made it. Now, so he did save a bit of time because Kazuya did have to do a couple backups to get into the cave on first lap. So he did save a little bit of time. Actually, quite a decent amount. And already at the end of Mushroom Cup here, Kara Kara Desert, aka Calamari Desert. And there's a couple different strategies that you can go about this. You can, either way, they're going to want to wait at the first item box and buffer for an item, rather sandbag for an item. They are looking for a star or red shells or both. Both is ideal if you have red shells and then a star. Kazuya does pull the star pretty much right away, and Smurfy does get it pretty much right away as well. I think that was a first try for Smurfy, second try for Kazuya. And what you saw happen, and what we'll see on Smurfy's side on the left on the next lap, is that this is even in the instruction manual for Mario Kart 64. They intended for you to use a star and drive on the tracks, like to the left of where Smurfy is now, and drive through the tunnel. And as long as you have the star activated and you cross the finish line inside the cave, it'll count a lap. However, what they didn't intend us to do is to go in on the closer side. And as soon as the Lakitu pops up and tells you you're going in reverse, maybe just a hair beyond that, that's like your visual cue to turn around, trigger the star, and then it'll just count the lap. So still quite close. Kazuya pulling the mushroom for the swag finish on the right, and then you'll see them, or on the left rather, and you'll see them reset right away. And that as long as you cross the finish line, you see the camera change or hear the woo noise, signaling that you're done. You can just reset right away. There is a 10-second penalty if you do it early, so it is very beneficial to wait even just a couple moments more than you would on a PB run. People menu like that just by practice, really. You just have to practice doing it fast. That's really it. You're less looking at it and more just like knowing how many times to press the D-pad each time, and then you're doing it as fast as you possibly can. So Toad's Turnpike is sometimes a run ender for people that are a little bit newer, especially because the timing to get over the fence is a bit tough. And what they're doing is at the beginning you saw them go out of bounds. And when you go out of bounds and the Lakitu is like, setting you down and going up, even though it is technically off the screen at that point, it can't be spawned again. And what you saw Smurfy do and Kazuya after a few tries was while the Lakitu is still on the screen, he won't set you or stop you from going out of bounds, and they just fall down the track. And there's a figure 8 map that you can see in the lower right, so they're kind of on that T spot. They just fall down. We'll see Kazuya do it now. So now while Lakitu's there, there's the truck there. So it looks like, yeah, he's gonna have a little bit of trouble getting it down. Whenever you have some issues doing this one, the trucks and the buses can really get in your way. Yeah, this one is just tough. So Smurfy's gonna pull ahead into the lead, and essentially, once you've done it once successfully, whenever you go out of bounds after you trigger the lap, the Lakitu will just set you down. So Kazuya is trying to do the trick, but the trucks are really being ruthless. So he's going to be forced to go around. Yeah, he committed to it, but honestly, at this point, he made the right choice just to go on. Once because the traffic's on a cycle, once you have a couple tries not to get it, the trucks and the buses really get in the way. It gets really tough to do it. The more that you don't get it. So Smurfy moving on to Frap Snowland. This is another one of those finish line glitches where you are on the. Yeah, he needs it now. Maybe. Yeah, he's gonna need a really good item, like 2 stars. Yeah, he's gonna have a really tough time now. It's unfortunate, but hey, skips, it can happen. That's why maybe you want to just do it a couple times and move on, just for this very reason. He possibly could have a he's gonna definitely rank out now and be forced to do the track again. It's unfortunate, but it happens. So once he gets to Frap Snowland, I'll let you guys know about that. Choco Mountain has a couple big skips. One that's more famous, but isn't viable for 150 cc's all cups. Smurfy got the big bounce, so you just want to do a mini turbo, and right as you're about to hit that mountain, hit R, and as soon as you hit R, you're gonna keep your forward momentum, and it sets you up. Sometimes you can get 0 framed, you'll just see them crash like that, and in that case, you can do that backup as long as you're on the left side of that wall or on the right. You have a good chance. Otherwise, you have a lot bigger chance of getting 0 framed in the center. So you want to be have a good speed on the left, or even just a lower speed on the right. Kazuya actually nailed it that time, I think, but he got nailed by a bus. But he's going to be considerably behind now. I would consider this where it's probably not likely for him to catch up now. He got the first skip on the first lap, but then it didn't count him updating the checkpoint, so he was forced to do it again. But then he started getting hit by the trucks and the buses. Very unfortunate, but now he's nailed it. So if you didn't catch what happened with Toad's Turnpike, he wants to go out of bounds at the beginning twice. So the first time is so the Lakitu spawns. The second time, the Lakitu will not spawn because he's still on the screen or just above it. And because there's no collision then, he will fall down to the lower part of the track. And then once he goes over the finish line, he can just go out of bounds again because the Lakitu is going to still want to set him on that false checkpoint. So just like how you see there, it just sets him down midway through the track by Toad. And he's set and ready to move on to Frap Snowland. Smurfy's on Mario Raceway. Usually want to see people get mushrooms or red shells, but they are probably what I would consider one of the tougher skips. Not the mushroom necessarily, but the triple reds. The triple reds, you can just hit yourself over the walls, just like how they did on Luigi Raceway. So typically, you'll see people. People just drive it non-shortcut. That's typical. I personally do that as well. Going for it, nice, and he nails it. So that's a great example of the mushroom skip. You can use that mushroom, and it gives you the great amount of momentum to just jump right over that brick wall. And there isn't a lot of collision on the top half of those brick walls, so even though it kind of looked like he should have just been stopped by that, it will just let you through. So on the right here, you'll see him go back onto the bridge, cross over the finish line, and then the Lakitu will pick you up and put you back on the bridge because it thinks that you should be there. But every time you cross over the plane where the finish line is, it counts the lap. So you just do that a few times and you're done with that one. Smurfy moving on to Wario Stadium. This one is, it's usually either 30 seconds or about a minute and a half, depending on how quickly you get it. Smurfy got over, but he crossed over the finish line, so he's gonna have to do it again. You want to land to the right of the finish line, just so you can just essentially just do a circle around the finish line. The first jump here, you have about a 2-frame window to jump and bump into the wall. But coming back, you either have a 1 or 2 frame, or sometimes 0 frame, as we saw from Smurfy on the left just now, in order for you to get over. So you just back up, try to get to triple tap A and get to top speed, just to kind of go over that. Anytime that you are going less than top speed, so if you're stopped, you get hit by something, you hit maybe even hit a banana, what you want to do is triple tap A. If you just press and hold A, it takes several seconds for you to finally get to top speed. However, if you triple tap A, you get up to top speed in about a second and a half. So food for thought for anybody who plays or is thinking about playing, because it'll save you a lot of time as mistakes happen. Kazuya looks like he tried a couple times and then went around. Smart choice. I did the same thing. Smurfy's on to Sherbet Land. It doesn't have any skips that are not TAS only at the moment. There is a shortcut that will allow you to hit a CPU and then make it to the center where that big penguin is. So this one just done non-shortcut. Nothing really to say about other than the penguins are in a set cycle, so you want to essentially be doing the same movements each time that you play it. If you mess up or you hit an item, the penguins are going to be off. Kazuya hitting the second and the third shortcut, so he actually did save a little bit of time, but he's still considerably behind at the moment. Still has to get through Mario Raceway and now Wario Stadium. So if he can get a really good Wario Stadium, he can get a little bit of that back, but we'll see later on. It's tough to really say. I would say he is, now being a couple courses behind, I would count that as probably, not going to come down to the end, but Still, skips can happen. You know, the same things that happen to Kazuya can happen to Smurfy. So it's still too tough to really say whether it's out. Kazuya actually getting the blue shell skip on Mario Raceway. So you're using the momentum from the shells just like how you do on Luigi Raceway, and you set it up, and you can actually just do what you do on. Oh, nice! Oh my gosh, yes! Awesome, awesome! What a great time save! Amazing. So the blue shells are just going to come back and hit you, and you use that. You still maintain your forward momentum and just essentially just do a circle right around the finish line. Great job, Kazuya. Nice job. Smurfy is on Royal Raceway, so but he falls in the water and doesn't make it to the wall. There's a crease on the wall there, like you can see on a diagonal. And what you do is you actually just hit a side of the wall, and your spot is updated because the Lakitu is like, oh, where could they have fallen from? And they think that you would have fallen from the bridge, which is strange. They didn't count on us just jumping over the water and hitting it. They thought, oh, they went to the right. Yeah, Smurfy doing the pause and with the spin out. I can say that it's happened to me too. I did it twice in my run. So Kazuya just has to try to get top speed and get over this wall. You know, if he can save just a little bit of time on each of these that Smurfy has failed, there's possibilities that he could catch up. Smurfy again not making the distance. So each time that you fall into the water like that, you lose about 10 seconds. Falling in, the Lakitu picking you up, setting you back down, and then you setting yourself back up. So that's 20 seconds that Kazuya could save if he hits it first try each time. Smurfy doing the going to the left on the water over the bridge. Wow, Kazuya, nice ending there, very nice ending. You can go to the left off of the bridge on Royal Raceway, and it only saves like half a second, maybe, I want to say. So it is more for swag purposes, but it does save a small amount of time. I believe Smurfy hit it that time. Was he too far to the right? He was too far to the right. That's 30 seconds that Kazuya can make up now if he hits it first try each time. Smurfy falling in again. That's 40 seconds. He's making it a race here. This could actually be a race now. Oh wow. Yeah, so like I said, and I will not take fault for being on commentator for the curse on that one. Stuff like that can happen. That stuff can happen. You can just kind of get into that where you kind of get especially a little frustrated too, especially with Toad's Turnpike, and it makes it so much tougher to get the skips down. So Smurfy rolling over with a 232, which, you know, Kazuya can make up a lot of time. Looks like he can make up like 45 seconds on that map. So he's actually going to be a lot closer depending on what Smurfy does. But Smurfy still does have, you know, entire course lead on him. So he's going on to Koopa Castle, aka Bowser's Castle, which is the last course of the Star Cup. And it doesn't have any skips. It has Thwomps on a cycle. Marty is in prison in the corner in the back in the first room. And as long as you don't make any mistakes, it doesn't have much of an impact on you. But if you spin yourself out, fall in the lava, get hit by, you know, an item, which the CPUs have a crazy tendency to just leave them in your way. You can lose a lot of time, and then the CPUs get caught up, lay more items, and can just have a nightmare. So far, Smurfy's having a good time. Nothing really to say. He's had a very clean first lap, which means that he should still be on a good pace for a second lap. Usually, if something goes down, it's very early, and then you have a Nightmare Bowser's Castle. For newer players, that's usually like the run/stream ender frustration. Oh, Smurfy with the banana, but misses it. Nice. That's one of the most evil places that the CPUs can place a banana is right around the corner where you can't see. You slip, you fall into the lava, and then it's party time. So Kazuya just has to make these first try. He was too far to the left on that one. You have to be to the right of that crease so he doesn't get the updated checkpoint. So he's gonna do the backup here. Nice. Looks like he hit it that time. Smurfy having a great Bowser's Castle. You know, that's the ideal. He even got a mushroom, which you can use at the time trial spot right there. So nothing, you know, not too bad. So he's gonna maintain a solid lead because now Kazuya still has to get through Bowser's Castle, which likewise can hold him back as well. So Smurfy's gonna reset and go to the final special cup. Very quick menuing, very nice. So he's gonna go to Donkey Jungle Park, aka DK Jungle Parkway. And instead of driving around, he's actually gonna turn around right away. And what you wanna do is you wanna clip out of bounds, cross the finish line out of bounds, but yet fall into the cave or at least into the water. So you're kind of setting yourself up to have the perfect line. And yep, he hits it. You'll see him, now he's in first. And if you're too far to the left, it won't count the lap. If you're too far to the right, you won't fall into the water. Sometimes there's like an in-between. Kazuya hitting it first try on the third lap here. Nice. So sometimes, so like that. He fell into the cave, but he didn't cross over the finish line close enough for it to count. So he's going to have to line up and do it again. And sometimes when you triple tap A to get back up to speed, nice, he hit it that time. The slope will actually pull you a little bit off your ideal line, and I hate it when that happens. I really do. Smurfy with the last minute adjustment on that one, so that was smart because he may not have been to the right enough. Even though he falls in the water, it's still going to count the lap, set him in the cave, and then he's set. So that was still a relatively fast DK Jungle Parkway. Sub-minute, I would be happy with that. Kazuya moving on to Koopa Castle. So right about a course's length now. We can still see some shenanigans on Yoshi Valley. Heck, Banshee Boardwalk, we could see them have some variance if the CPUs lay items, falling in the water, you know, things of that nature. Yeah, having a good first lap, taps the wall. CPUs catch up a little bit. They do get really aggressive towards the end of the first lap. But Kazuya is stealing a boo before passing Toad to go back in first. So Smurfy heading on the right path. He's going to bump the wall. It's going to make him fall. He's going to kind of get shot left after hitting the wall, and it counts the lap. Whoa, wow. Watch out. Yeah, Wario. So Smurfy had to kind of stop and wait because the Lakitu will set you down further up on the lap, but he sets you backwards for some reason. You have to turn around, and the CPUs can a lot of times get in your way, like you saw on Smurfy's side. Oh, Wario! Hey, what's up, Wario? Wow, the CPUs are getting a lot of stars for some reason on his side. Looks like Kazuya's had a pretty decent time on Koopa Castle, so he's gonna move on to DK Jungle Parkway. He can save a little bit of time if he gets some of those jumps first try. It is a little bit of a tougher one because you don't have a lot of leeway on that one. So Smurfy having a very nice Yoshi Valley. He's gonna move on to Banshee Boardwalk, aka Hayudoro Lake. Yeah, very fair mole. Right, and Kazuya on to Special Cup. So Banshee Boardwalk is another one that has a shortcut, but it's TAS only. You have to ramp yourself off of a CPU over the finish line for it to count. So it's tough. It's just not viable in RTA. So this one's bread and butter. It does have a very narrow track, but as long as the CPUs don't lay any items, I don't see Smurfy having any trouble. Kazuya lining it up. He does get it. Falls in the water, but he does get it. Even if you get the water, you can still have a good time. Oh, Kazuya getting the a little bit of the Lakitu graphical glitch where you can like see through the entire map. Lining it up again, very nice. And falls into the cave much faster than falling in the water. Very nice setups. Essentially, yeah, you just line yourself up on that dot. See how the course pulled him in. Yeah, and he falls back in inbounds in the cave very fast. He actually did save about 6 seconds. Instead, it's 6 seconds ahead of Smurfy on that one. Very nicely done, Kazuya. Smurfy on the final lap of Hayudora Lake. He's gonna roll through in just a few moments and be on to the final course, Rainbow Road. So Kazuya, let's see if he sandbags. It could be a good play here. And he does. Smart, very smart. I would probably do the same. So essentially, when you're in 4th or 5th place, you have a chance, the highest chance at 25% of getting triple shrooms, which you can do the skip that we're going to see Kazuya do on lap 2. So Kazuya is going to set up the first skip here, roll off, bump to the left. Smurfy, right at the beginning, you see him get the start boost and then go to the left, fall all the way down. Very, very famous shortcut as far as Mario Kart 64 goes, especially. And then now, Smurfy wants to pick up a green shell. Because what he's going to do is, much like how we've seen on some other tracks, he's going to try to hit himself out of bounds, cross the finish line while still falling, and then the Lakitu will pick you up and be like, oh, you were at the end of the lap, and just put you at the end. So Smurfy does get the green shell eventually. Kazuya, with the star, lines himself up and goes across the way, hitting the right spot, and it counts a lap. So very nice, very nice. He is gaining a little bit of time, but unless Smurfy royally messes up, so sorry for cursing you on that one, Smurfy. I do have the utmost faith that he's going to nail this one. So you just want to line it up a specific way so that it bounces off the wall, and it'll be really close to the side. So you can kind of see there, it's like riding up the stars on the side, so that it's not kind of doing that zigzag bounce. And you just knock yourself off, you hit the lap, and then you just do it again. So now he's at the end of lap 2 suddenly. So that was a very good setup, very nicely done, Smurfy. So now he's at the mercy of just getting items at this point, which he's just laying a minefield. He does get the triple greens, which is not the most ideal in my opinion, because they're circling around you and you don't have control of where they fire from. So he's just gonna fire all 3, and he bumps off, but he bounced. Will he cross the finish line? He doesn't cross the finish line on that one. Yeah, the bounce actually took a little bit of his forward momentum, and he's gonna have to do it again. Ooh, Kazuya falling into the water, having a little bit of trouble at Hayudora Lake. So yeah, Smurfy is just at the mercy. No, and he gets hit by the lightning, and the bats, which can bump you, will smash you like you just saw. So that is your nightmare situation. Smurfy nailing the green shell skip that time is gonna lay some bananas into the void, and he's done. So if you want to throw some GGs into the chat for Smurfy, very well done. He's about to cross over with a 30-32. Very nicely done, Smurfy. Nice time. So now, Kazuya, he's on lap 3. He does have the super mushroom, so I would expect that he would use it at the last part here. Thank you for the audio switch.
Hello.
Smurfy.
Oh man.
Wow, that was. I mean, you did a great job. you had some mishaps. I can't believe you missed the LR, the blue shell. at the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
but
that-
smart. Waiting for the second one, I probably would have just driven around.
Getting that blue shell is the hardest thing in the whole game, I swear.
Seriously, especially if you get like a mushroom leading up to it, because it's like, wait, but now I'm
Yeah.
going too fast, and now
My problem
it just messes me
was
up.
I didn't realize I didn't have an item, so I was gonna accidentally get the item boxes, and I didn't realize
Oh.
until like I was super close.
Oh, I've totally done that. I've totally done that where it's like, oh shoot, I have something, so then I try to get rid of it, and then I hit the items right before, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh man, I suck.
Yeah, and then
Hey,
Royal Raceway.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
surprised to see you fall in more than once, honestly.
Normally, I'm totally fine on that. It's just I accidentally hit Z and put that fake right in the way, and it psyched me out. It psyched me out every time I got to it, and then
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kinda
And I saw you had the
spaghetti
token
everywhere.
pause. You had the token pause on the first one. I love that.
Yeah, I almost, like, out of reflex after the pause, went down an A to like restart for time trials.
right, from time trials.
Came so close to doing that. But,
Oh jeez, yeah, that would have actually probably about evened it up. He was still
he would
on
have won with that.
Stadium
Yeah.
at that point. So he had some trouble on Toad's Turnpike. He's nailing the green shell skip right now. So if he would have had a better Toad's Turnpike, it actually would have been really close.
Yeah, definitely.
He had good maps otherwise. Just had a little trouble. Then he ranked out. So unfortunate, but it does happen. But he
must
still
have been,
gave a great gameplay.
Yeah, he played really well. Like, other than Toad's Turnpike,
Right.
he nailed the Mario Raceway blue shells and everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think
Yeah,
his
the
time-
Mario Raceway. That was amazing. That was pro gamer right there.
His time's definitely not representative of his skill level. He's
No,
gonna
definitely
be getting
not.
some pretty big PBs soon, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a 29 now.
Yeah, I
So
heard.
he's crossed over that threshold. That's amazing. Kazuya just hitting the final green shell skip, so he is set, and he's gonna roll over in just a moment.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't. I must have been like pixels away from the finish line on the second green shells.
Yeah. I can't believe that. Once I saw you bounce, I wasn't sure if you were going to make it, and you just barely didn't cross over the finish line.
Barely, yeah. I figured it would be close because I've had that a few times before where I've bounced like that. Especially like triple greens are the worst. I almost just got rid of them to try to find a single green, but yeah.
Yeah. It's always when you want it the most, you're just gonna get 100 bananas.
Yeah.
And the fake item boxes too. Luckily,
Yeah.
you did get the triple greens at that point, so you can just fire away.
I'm so bad. I don't think I've ever hit that shortcut properly using triple greens in an actual run.
Yeah. If
Oh.
I get triple greens and I have a little bit of time, I will usually ditch them and try to get a single.
I did. I cut a gold split on Mario Raceway because I almost always drive non-shortcut. So one skip gave me a 2-second gold.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that was a great jump on that mushroom. You didn't hit the brick wall on the other side.
I definitely would not have gone for that if he hadn't ranked out on Toad's Turnpike. I just figured since I had the lead, I might as well try it because I haven't even practiced.
Might as well. It was a great showcase, absolutely. And then Kazuya with the blue shells showed us the other skip on there, so that was awesome. A lot of times you won't see that in this tournament just for safety measures.
Yeah, no, I even in PB attempts, I don't go for.
Right. Yeah, if I'm on a
shells.
great pace, absolutely I won't. I just need more practice.
We all need more practice.
You are right. All right. I don't know if Kazuya will come into the commentary box.
I would be surprised.
Right. So I think that we are all done. So I'll let you guys know when the next matches are going to be. It's going to be tomorrow. Zoran, the 6th seed, versus Armin, which is the 11th seed. It's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern time. And Abney, which is the 1st seed, huge surprise there, versus Flanders, the 16th seed. And then round 1 will be over. And then Monday will be Haddock versus Mr. Pitt. So that'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we hope to see you there. And yep, I think that's about it. So I hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday, wherever you are, and take care. Have a good one, Smurfy.
See ya.